Elevators can be a force multiplier during high-rise or multi-story fires, but they can also become a risk and trap firefighters in the elevator without warning. It's important to follow some simple steps to ensure that you and your crew don't become trapped in the elevator and need to be rescued. In this training, we'll talk about what is fire service control, when to use elevators during fires and fire alarms, and how to use the fire service control so that we can use the elevator safely when appropriate.
At 2:03 a.m. on April 11, 1994, an automatic alarm was received from the Regis Towers, a high-rise apartment building located at 750 Adams Avenue. It was a familiar location to firefighters, as this was their 29th response to the building in the past 6 months. Engine 7 and Snorkel 13 arrived on the scene first and checked the fire alarm panel, which showed alarms activated on the 9th and 10th floors. 5 firefighters proceeded to the 9th floor in one of the elevators. When the elevator door opened, they encountered heavy smoke and heat. They struggled to get their breathing apparatus donned and activated. At the time, their only option was to retreat, since they had no charged hose line and fire conditions were intense. There was much confusion, and the men were separated. Lieutenant Michael L. Mathis and Private William E. Bridges of Engine 7 reached the safety of a stairwell on the west end of the building. 2 others encountered a frantic resident and entered one of the apartments. One of them broke out a window to provide fresh air to the resident, while the other radioed for an aerial ladder rescue. The 5th firefighter had been caught inside the elevator, which took him back to the first floor. Lieutenant Mathis, not knowing the location of his comrades, proceeded down the hallway, where he encountered a flashover that damaged his breathing apparatus. He retreated to an apartment, where his air supply was depleted, and he was later found unconscious. When Private Bridges tried unsuccessfully to contact Lieutenant Mathis by radio, he entered the same hallway in an attempt to locate and assist him. There he became entangled in cable television wires that had fallen from their plastic anchors. His air supply was depleted, and he was later found unconscious. Both men were eventually located, and efforts began to revive them. They were removed and transported to the Regional Medical Center, where both were pronounced dead.
To improve usability and safety of elevators for firefighters, many elevators have fire service control. Fire service control allows firefighters to recall and control designated elevators. When fire service controls are initiated by the fire department, it gives us full control of the elevator so that no one else will be able to use the elevators once we have taken them over. Additionally, it changes the elevator door controls so that it makes it safer during fire operations. Not all elevators have fire service control. If an elevator does not have fire service control, don't use it. When using the elevator at a fire or fire alarm, you will need to have the fire service control keys. Most elevators use the barrel key, but if not, there should be an elevator key in the Knox box. Once you have the key, you'll want to check the fire alarm panel to identify the location of the fire. Remember to scroll back in the fire alarm history to identify the original alarm source if multiple alarms have been tripped. Anytime you use the elevator, whether it's in an alarm or at a fire, you need to exit the elevator 2 floors below the fire floor. Failure to do this can put you and your crew at risk. Fire service control has 2 phases. To initiate phase 1, you will locate the phase 1 controls and insert the key into the keyway. Turn the key to the on position and then remove the key. Wait to make sure that the phase 1 indicator light is on and not flashing. If the phase 1 indicator flashes, don't use the elevator and report it to the IC. Once all the elevators that are serviced by the phase 1 keyway are recalled, you will want to do a quick search for people. Any elevators that don't return, you should consider a missing person, with the lives of those in that elevator at great risk. After placing the elevator in phase 1 control, check the elevator hoistway with a box light and check for smoke, water, or fire. Do not use the elevator if you see any of these. You will potentially become trapped in the elevator, or the elevator may malfunction. The next step is to place the elevator into the Phase 2 fire service control and check the door functions. Identify the Phase 2 keyway and turn the key to the on position. If the fire service control light does not come up, or if it's flashing, don't use the elevator. Either a smoke detector or heat detector is activated, and the shunt trip will shut the power down to the elevator without notice. Our first safety check is call cancel. Select any floor and then hit the call cancel button. This should cancel the floor selected. This function ensures that we can stop the elevator if needed. The last part of your elevator safety check is the elevator door peak function check. Elevator doors operate differently in Phase 2 fire service control, and there are some safety features while in Phase 2 that you'll want to check that are operational before you use the elevator. We call these the door peak functions. The first step in checking the door peak function is to press and hold the door close button until the door moves, and then release the door close button. The elevator door should then open. Next, close the elevator door all the way by pressing and holding the door close button until the elevator door is completely closed. Last, press and hold the door open button until the door opens a few inches, and then release. The door should close. Once you have completed the elevator checks, you can select the floor that is 2 floors below the fire floor. Remember, before doing this, always check the hoistway for signs of smoke, fire, or water. Then check the function of the call cancel button and the door peak functions, as well as look at the fire service control light that it is on and not flashing. If you determine that the elevators are the right tool for your scene, you will want to use the rule of 6. No more than 6 firefighters in an elevator. This will keep us from overloading the elevator and give us room to don our SCBA masks if something goes wrong. Next, stop and check the elevator hoistway with a flashlight for smoke, water, or fire every 6 floors. The last rule of 6 is that it will be faster to take the stairs if the fire is at or below the 6th floor. Thanks for watching this training. Remember, these videos should be the start of training, not the end. Use the information given and apply the information by looking at elevators in your district.